Hey fellow gamers, Chatty Sisa here. We've just got, out of the blue, a trailer for the other MMORPG that Guerrilla themselves were working on within the Horizon franchise. That means the second MMORPG aside from the NCSoft Horizon Steel Frontiers that was announced not so long ago. This new game was previously known only as the Horizon Online project, and now it's officially called Horizon Hunters Gathering. If all those various Horizon game names are getting too confusing for you too, you're not alone. To set the expectations straight, this vid is not going to be about a summary of the game information and what we know so far. This is purely based on my impressions after seeing that initial announcement trailer for the first time. But like I said already with LEGO Horizon Adventures, just by the looks of it, this is clearly for a different group of gamers other than the core fanbase, because Sony and Guerrilla want to cover as many styles, game types and player populations as possible for the franchise. And just like with the MMORPG Steel Frontiers by NCSoft, this is not necessarily the type of game that I prefer and I'm going to play, but the same way I've talked about some observations from Steel Frontiers, the same way I'd like to highlight certain things that I've noticed in this one. Both the good and the bad stuff. Mostly the latter though. And my first impression was, as you've seen already on the thumbnail, that this looks like Veilguard 2.0. That's because of this purple hue, the cartoonish style, and mainly, first and foremost, the absolutely jarring change of style for the Horizon universe in terms of the forcefully humorous tone. Not necessarily in what is being said, but what is being shown. I'm having the exact same feeling that I had when the first trailer for Veilguard came out. This is a Disney show. The Horizon universe is, despite its various colorful environments and characters, a dark and serious place. There's a lot on the line, basically Extinction number 2 and the final and complete destruction of the planet Earth. While some humor is natural in certain circumstances, and even while facing such catastrophic events and overwhelming odds as in the original trilogy, the trailer here gives the impression the game is full with completely unbecoming and out-of-place, immature comical undertones. Sure, it's not a game set in the original trilogy, and it's not the final third game. And while I appreciate that it's consistent with the original universe, at least in certain aspects, like, for example, the machines, it still looks and feels way out of place for the franchise. So back to my starting point, just like LEGO Horizon Adventures was not having as the intended player base the gamers of the original series, but was rather meant for younger generations, it had a type of humor and tone that was aligned with the expected player age group and the LEGO game style. This game is also clearly not for the original core fan base. But it's an MMORPG, and unlike with LEGO Horizon, I am really not sure who is supposed to be the target audience for this one. There will be some people who will just enjoy the game for what it is, undoubtedly. But so far my impression seems to align with many other players, as is underlined by some comments I've seen already online. A few MMORPG players have even been saying they are rather going to play Steel Frontiers than this one, which is quite telling. Some call it Concord number 4, some others have pointed out exactly those other details I've noticed myself too. Like this comment. The Disney Pixar Fortnite Overwatch style is exhausting. I watched the whole video. Aloy, 54 seconds, looks better than the second game, but in general, I don't like the cartoon look with purple energy. I don't like live service games in general and don't understand why companies keep trying in this space. I'd rather have another Killzone game. Let's take our realistic looking game world and put it through an Overwatch filter and learn nothing from all of our live service failures. And the top one, considering the current RAM crisis and the exploding prices for gaming PCs, I didn't build a top-of-the-line PC to play this slop. Just like the previously mentioned Steel Frontiers, of course, this new MMORPG also presents oversized huge weapons, which look out of place in a Horizon game, and which I've criticized already in NCSoft's game. In this one I had to laugh about that fat huntress, or whoever that's supposed to be. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure that even on future Earth people naturally come in all shapes and sizes. But the combination of a fat hunter is the same nonsense like a blind sniper or a vegan vampire. It's just completely out of place and out of touch with reality, which the Horizon franchise never was about. The huge focus on melee combat is also a deviation from the main single-player games, although I've said that much already with Steel Frontiers and pointed out this is the direction also the main trilogy was slowly sort of heading towards, which in my book is not a positive change. Nevertheless, I have to say that for an MMORPG it does make at least more sense. To mention some of the positives though, and I have to give credit where it's due, the cartoon art style is high quality and consistent throughout the trailer and what we've seen from the game so far. Had this not been a Horizon game but a kids TV series, I'd have said it looks damn impressive. But it is not. And from my point of view, the money and time spent on this project should have rather gone into the third Horizon game we're also desperately waiting for. To wrap it up, a live service game isn't something that I'd be looking forward to, because I'm just not going to play it. So honestly, I don't really care how this game will do on the market. I'm also not going to say I want it to flop, because it would just hurt the franchise further, a franchise I'm so far still appreciating a lot. I just wanted to point out why I think this might have been the wrong game, at the wrong time, in the wrong art style, and a tonal shift that's unbecoming of the first and so much successful game which started this whole franchise and which people loved exactly because it was as it was. But I'm just negatively surprised that this is what they've been doing for a few years instead of finishing Horizon 3 as the last game in the trilogy, which the vast majority of the Horizon core fanbase is waiting for. At this point, even though I'm still a big fan of Horizon, I'm starting to feel that Horizon fatigue, like many other players already pointed out. Sony/Guerrilla are going to kill off the franchise before even the final game comes out, because they're just giving us the same impression of bottomless corporate greed like so many others. Hey, let's just milk the franchise for as long as we can. I'm afraid this will just make a lot of people from the core fanbase move on prematurely and not even wait for the final game in the end. And see, it's looking like just another game where the big studios refuse to learn from the mistakes of others and repeat the same mistakes themselves, irrationally hoping for a different outcome than what those other live service flops have brought onto their studios and publishers. Like Concord, like Veilguard, like Marathon, and so on. Not amused, but also not disappointed. Maybe just tired. At this point in time, this game looks like the perfect representation of the misalignment between the gaming industry and the players. And on this spot, instead of the usual outro, I'm just going to say, if you made it this far in the video, you deserve a damn medal, because it means you've watched by now this Veilguard clone on the screen multiple times. Kudos to you, and my sincere apologies.